The grey lurry, of course, is the one Pete talked about the other day in We Learn. But we also get a purple-crested lurry, which we don't see very often. I've heard one a few times around here. Sometimes down in the riverbed you can hear it calling. They sound a little bit like a baboon almost, a very deep sort of ho, ho, ho call like that. And they're beautiful, as you can guess. The name purple-crested lurry, the crest itself, but the wings, they've got these amazing, almost like a wine red, ruby red wings when they fly. The last one I actually saw, Texan and Herman will remember with me when we were driving down, just coming down the escarpment down towards Nelspruit, we saw a purple-crested lurry. The Knysna lurry, of course, you get in South Africa, but that's more towards Knysna, hence the name, down towards the sort of the south coast, if you want, southeast coast, and but you don't get those around here. Little impala, very alert-looking impala. You can see this one. I don't know if we can have a look, maybe at one of the other camera, just have a quick wide look, but it looked like there was only this one or two impala. It wasn't a big herd coming along. And is it possible, Pete? Just have a quick wide look from the other camera. But it didn't look like there were lots of them. Obviously, if you're 20 or 30 or 100 impala, the awareness is sort of shared a little bit. But this female looking very, very careful and tentative. And I think it's largely because she doesn't have the benefit of a large group of others. There you can see she's even jumping at possibly her own reflection there. She's looking very weary, actually. Well, that's something we'll obviously get better at over the next while. It's just getting more relaxed with this. A lot of this, I think, eventually might even just be me sometimes just relaxing here with you, watching the warthog, watching what's going on. And obviously I'll get better at getting the conversation as well. It's nice to see more people joining us. A couple of questions. I'm going to just quickly try and touch on a few of them. Look at the reflection of the impala coming down. Maybe the warthog giving her extra confidence. Shame for impala by herself. Waterbug's horns to grow to that size that we saw earlier. A big mature male will be anything from 6 to 8 years or so. Those horns, obviously, like with antelope, grows throughout the year, or throughout the years from birth, really, and they reach that sort of full mature horns or set of horns when they're 6, 8 years old, 9 years old. That was a question from Francis. Question quickly about the water the water not being pumped anymore. Maybe that's a better way to say it. Last night at some stage they stopped pumping it. I'm not quite sure. I know the elephants did give them a bit of trouble. They pulled out the pipes once or twice over the last week, and maybe they just had to change the water to pump for the lodge as well. Obviously the borehole that's used runs the pan, but also runs the lodge and all the water requirements for our camp as well. So maybe just switching priorities. I do agree, even though I struggle to make the name out there. Oh, actually it's from Mr. Wallington. Graham is joining us here. He's just joining it from exactly where you're joining us from. It does actually work better than I imagined, and over time also we'll know more how it works, and it'll keep becoming more fun. Something else that's also working quite nicely, just for those that have just joined us, a few people have come on, is if the question is specifically aimed at me, if you can start the question or the line with my name and end it with yours. For instance, the way Francis did it, or JP earlier, or Carmen, a few people have done it like that. And then when there's conversation in between, you can see there someone addressing a question to Graham, then it's clear that it's a conversation beyond just what we're talking about here, if that makes sense. I have to agree with that. Someone just saying to Graham how awesome it is. 10 years live. I mean, look at this warthog in the mud wallow. To the warthog probably doesn't matter that much if it's live on TV or not, but to the rest of the world certainly that's something that's quite special. Something that's been 10 years in the making. And suddenly we can look at this. See, I must get better at this. Where's that edge? Of course, the edge is there in front of the camera. So I'm just being a bit silly as well, you know me, especially in new spaces. It's sometimes just fun to have fun. Same as this warthog, I'm sure he's having a mud wallow for all the practical reasons. As we know, they do it to cool down on a hot day like today, which I must say I wouldn't mind being in the wallow myself now. There's practical reasons, cooling down, getting rid of parasites and ticks and fleas and all kinds of things, exfoliating, making sure the skin stays nice. But ultimately, I think this warthog also does it just because it feels nice. So that's why I might be joking around a little bit and try and sort of point towards the warthog every now and again until I'm better at it, so that we can say that's what we're talking about. Just to have a bit of fun. I must say this is fun. Well, should we bring someone in? Simon, you want to come say how's it? I was just looking at that warthog. That was Alex's favorite animal. He was one of our first sort of cameramen as such. It came here mainly to do camera. This is Simon. And you know what we didn't think about?
Yeah, the microphone.
The microphone.
So I'm not sure how we're going to do audio. But.
So that's all part of how we're going. Simon's going to have a microphone very shortly. So just in the meantime, I'm going to just say one or two things. First of all, let's turn this camera slightly. There we go, just so you can see him a little bit better. We're obviously going to have Simon around the fire on Sunday evening for the fireside chat at 7. As we normally do, and that's typically where people sort of get to meet you properly. But Simon arrived last night, and yeah, just a quick hello.
All right, is my mic working in there? All right.
All good.
Yeah, my name is Simon Diltz. I'm from North America. I pretty much lived half my life in Canada and the other half in the United States. So it's for all you North American fans, I'm sure if you guys have any questions for me, you can kind of just email me or just on some of the chats. You can just kind of ask me any questions that you want, because I'm pretty sure you guys will probably have some interesting questions for having a North American here for a change. And I'm really glad to be here. I'm really excited to start doing some camera work. So.
Yeah, we were saying earlier, we'll see how the day goes. There's always lots going on, and when Graham and Emily are down here, lots of things happening. But maybe even just get you on the vehicle this afternoon if you're keen, and
definitely.
get out there and see some wildlife.
Love to do that.
Yeah. Common first impressions, and we're not going. This is not going to be an interview or anything, but I often wonder what it must be like walking in here the first time. Now, if you walk into any new habitat, whether it's a warthog coming down to the warthol and hasn't been there for a few days, or a group of waterbuck or something, if you approach something new you haven't seen before, obviously you're very sensory-wise, you're very alert to your surroundings because you haven't seen it before. If it's a totally new space like this, what's your first impression? I mean, are you interested? Are you thinking of running away yet?
Oh no, I love it. I think you guys will probably be like trying to push me out, you know, eventually. I think because I'm pretty much here to stay. Yeah, I pretty much brought all my belongings that I could. So yeah, what I have here is pretty much what I own. So I'm here for a long haul.
Okay, good man. I'm sure you'll have fun as well. It certainly looks like an interesting space. I mean, just where you're sitting now is quite fun.
It's definitely interesting. And I'm going to talk with Emily and Graham, maybe do that, just kind of get a little clips of the camps itself so that our viewers can kind of see what it's like to hear, because that's one of the things I was wondering what the camp was actually like a little bit before, trying to get an idea of what to bring and just see what it was like. But I definitely love the accommodations here. It's great.
Yeah, that'll work. Did you bring swimming shorts?
Yeah.
Okay, those are going to become super important over the next while. It does get rather warm out here. I just want to have a quick look here. There's quite a few lows to you, Simon. I don't know if you can see the screen there.
It's hard to see with the light.
Difficult to see the names, but
yeah, I'd like to thank everybody for all the warm welcomes. I mean, even just yesterday, signing into the various things on the WE thing, everybody was warm welcomes, and it was really great. And so I'll try and keep up a little bit with it, but things here are going to get a little bit busy soon, so I might not be able to respond pretty quickly, but I'll try to get to answer some emails and everything else. So.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I think we're learning a lot more all the time, and we'll be doing more so. It's just this, having a conversation, whether it's me and you or anyone else joining us. Just a couple of questions. I'm going to just try and touch on a few of them quickly. I think we should have a look at that waterhole actually while we're talking. It's a beautiful view there of waterbuck coming in for a drink again. And like I mentioned yesterday as well, it seems like these waterbuck are sort of waiting for the chat show to join us. But it's just beautiful when they go into the water like that. If you look at the female there, just walking right into the water. I love that. And maybe we can get a close look just now as well at that nozzle. Yesterday someone mentioned that heart-shaped